Welcome back to Artistic Introvert Podcast, where we get to know the person behind the art. Today's guest is someone who wears more hats than most closets can hold. Rapper, singer, producer, engineer, songwriter, DJ, model, actress, the list goes on. She's known for her voice, flow, sex appeal, and wisdom. But there's a depth to her story that's just captivating as her music. From Allentown, PA, to Kinston and Goldsboro, North Carolina, she's turned struggle into strength. And today, we are pulling back the curtain on her journey. Prima Donna, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. What's name something positive that's happened for you today? I'm a positive person. I'm that type of guy.
Something positive. I was on time.
You got braces.
Oh yeah, and
okay,
I got braces.
It's
been that long.
Yeah,
oh
it's been
man,
that long. That's what's up.
Dang.
You said what?
I was on time.
When?
Oh, I was on time. Oh no, damn. Okay, I did a lie right there. Oh, I was earlier than usual.
There you go. You want as late. You want as late.
We're working on it.
That's fire though. That's fire. It's good to see you. So we're going to start with the roots and resilience. You lived in Allentown and was raised in Kinston, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
How do the places show up in your art and perspective? So basically, how does where you came from show up in your music?
Well, Allentown is up north.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that's more of the city life. It was more faster. So I was exposed to some things a little sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came down south and started living in Kinston, it was a little bit more grittier.
Yeah.
Like it's the dirty south.
Yeah.
So you can hear like the country
Mm-hmm.
or like the gritty in my music, I guess, from the south. But sometimes I make a little bit upbeat music that can maybe relate back to up north.
What's your favorite type of music to make?
Well, in the past, it was like trap, hip hop type music, but now it's some of everything. I'm switching over to versatile.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you've talked about coming from an independent home and helping raise your siblings.
Mm-hmm.
How has that shaped the kind of artist and person you are today? I am, what they call them, you know, they got names for everything. I'm the knee baby.
Okay.
So for me, I have a younger sister, an older brother, and then an older sister. And for me, like, we weren't bad off or nothing, but I always got like a lot of hand-me-downs. And I always felt like I had to prove myself, which is hence why like I'm about to get me a recording studio. I'm about to do everything I need to do.
Yeah.
How does you know, your childhood and how everything kind of came together for you, how does that kind of play into your role as being an artist and honestly even just being successful and just your path, your drive?
Well, for starters, I'm the oldest and the only girl out of my mother's children. So I've always had to be the leader, more so of the boss, the caretaker, the nurturer. And I actually had 3 younger siblings living with me. One was only, one was 10 years, 10, 12, and 14.
Okay.
Because they're all 2 years apart.
That's something serious.
So we're all close in age, you know, pretty much. But it pretty much just helped with like a more boss mentality and also knowing how to be a nurturer. But it played a big part in like a lot of struggles and stuff too, like experiences. So it gave me more to talk about. Do you feel like
you had, I got kids. So one thing that I try to do is for my daughter, I got 14, 8, 6, and now 4. And so a lot of times with me, like doing the studio and everything else like that, I try to make it so like my daughter doesn't become like a second mom to them. Like, you know, wifey home and everything too. Do you feel like you had a childhood, or you feel like you kind of had to, I know you say you had to grow up or you faced things earlier just based off of your where you were raised at initially, but then also, you know, you having to kind of take care of your siblings. Do you feel like you had a childhood?
For a while I did, but I'd say after my middle brother, my mom's third child, that's when it started more so becoming like, all right, you the second mom, you the oldest, it's time to step it up, you know? So, yeah. It's
a lot of that, but I mean, I feel like ultimately it don't feel like it at the time, but we definitely grow from it. Yeah.
It takes a village though,
yes.
so it is what it is.
Yes. What moments do you feel like you built your what moments do you feel like built your perseverance the most? So we talk about where you came from, and there's been I know we talked about like different activities or extracurricular things that may have been going on, and so we all face trials and tribulations. What do you feel like built your perseverance the most? Where it's like, look, I made it through that, I can make it through anything.
Being broke, like homeless broke, coming out of those situations. Because once you come from like all the way from the bottom, then it's like nothing's too difficult, and then it's like, all right, if something happened, I know what to do.
Right.
I know how to handle it. So I say like broke moments, moments where music-wise, where my videos or views won't up, or it might have declined for a moment. Just the momentum of things, because sometimes things slow down, or personal life might pick up, but just keep it steady and keep it going.
That's always hard to manage the personal life. I feel I always kind of like make a joke about this, but it's real life. So like I have clients, right? It's particularly dudes. I can tell when they get in a relationship and when they get out of a relationship. I stop seeing them as much when they get in one. And then when they get out of one, they get out and they like fully charged. Like, ain't nothing holding me back type thing or whatever the case may be. But personal life is definitely a biggie. So the art, the message. You're not just a performer. You're a producer, engineer, songwriter, and more. How does wearing all those hats influence the final product of your music?
It's hectic at times, because it be like my mind be all over the place. So you might want to do this, you might want to do that, and then you like wanting a team to help do it. But sometimes, like if you got the talent to do it yourself, you just go ahead. I just go ahead and do certain things. But it's just needing the help that plays a big part. I'll say that.
I feel like one of the things I'll say is once you start your journey, you'll start meeting people along the way that are on the same journey as you, and then they'll start, they'll become your team. A lot of times we be looking out to the left and the right trying to build a team, but we really honestly don't need to build a team with who we got around us right here. We be needing to build a team with who we are becoming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if God gave you the things that you asked for when you asked for them. It's a lot of things we would have mismanaged. You feel what I'm saying?
And I wouldn't have been prepared, because like it's a lot of people that I come into contact with nowadays that I wasn't mature enough to meet 5-6 years ago. So that plays a big part. Knowing when and where, and also everybody ain't for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you can't go everywhere doing this and that, and you can't take everyone everywhere either.
But that's fire. I think one thing I will say is like when you say you got a lot of different hats, because I definitely understand. I can side with you on that. One thing I try to do is I was having a conversation with wifey, and I was telling her, it was like we have multiple businesses. We got so many different things going on. And so what I was telling her is I was like, focus on the stair, not the staircase. And that's how you have to do when you're wearing all these different hats. If you keep looking at the entire staircase, it's going to be paralysis analysis or analysis paralysis. You're going to be looking at it and staring at it to the point where you just stuck and you can't move.
Yeah.
But you take one step at a time and you're good to go.
And I've had a lot of moments like that too. Like, where I'll write down these things in my notebook, like my project notebook, and I just be looking at the final piece of it. And it's like, dang, I got to do all of this just to get there. When in reality, it's really not that much. Like you said, you just got to take them baby steps.
Facts.
Because once you finish it, then you can look at it and you'll see like, all right, yeah, I did all of that. But you can't be looking at the actual goal.
Yeah.
You got to look at
You just got to keep running.
Because that'll kind of throw you off.
If you running a marathon, you like, dang, boy, that finish line about a good 5 kilometers away. Like, you know what I'm saying? You like, you going to feel like quitting right there.
Prices and stuff. I'd be like, yeah.
It's one of those things where you just kind of got to, like you said, focus in. So you got upcoming singles, visuals, and even 2 movies on the way. How do you manage creative energy across so many different levels? So, yeah, that can be a thing. That could be a thing where you might give more energy to one thing, and then I don't know, like we were just talking before we even start shooting the podcast, and we were talking about how you might have a song that's old to you, is new to somebody else, right? Sometimes creatively, that could be a thing too. So let's just say you've been rapping for a minute. Then you start doing like little movies and whatnot. And so it's like, ooh, this is new. So it almost feels like it's better. It might not be better. You might not be better at it, but it's new. So you're like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So as far as that goes, how do you like manage like how much energy you put into which? Like, is it more or less like one of those things where, okay, I'm getting more clout off of this, or I got a better opportunity off of doing this, or like how do you manage how much energy or what energy you put towards what?
I actually put my all into everything that I'm doing. If I'm shooting a movie, then I just know not to book anything for my music during that weekend, during that time, and I know I got to plan ahead. I just try to. It's scheduling. That'd be the main thing, a routine and scheduling. Like, oh, I'm shooting a video today. I'm shooting a music movie tomorrow. That's where it get chaotic and you get out of order and, you know, things happen. So as long as it's planned out well and I got it timed right, you know, then it really don't matter. And I'm going to put my all into whatever I'm doing.
Do you ever feel burnt out doing that?
Excuse me. Yes, there has been plenty of times, especially when it comes to like traveling far. Like that'll burn you out. But then that's where I learned again, scheduling. Like if you know you got to go somewhere that's 4 or 5 hours, maybe you might not need to be driving back. You might need to be staying there at night, you know. So yeah, burnt out days
that takes experience for you to know that. You ain't gonna know that on your first go.
Oh
you
my
know
God,
what I'm saying?
no.
You go back, dang.
I get times where I got writer's block, like where I can't write. And like you said, and that's where you can go back and something that's old, you can just promote that. It's always something to be promoting or putting out there.
I saw this quote. It was saying, look at some of your past work for motivation, and you look at people that you like, that you admire their work for inspiration. So that's something that I always kind of use to kind of like, because sometimes, man, we be down on ourselves. We be going OD and it don't even be called for. Like, we're like our worst critic. I'm going to condense this. What is after somebody hears your music, right? Or any form of your art, right? So we're not even going to just condense you to music. What's something that you hope that they take away from experiencing Prima Donna?
What's something that I hope they take away? Just a different feel, like feeling like they got a taste of something organic, real, nothing fake, like I'm being myself. And just hopefully they, you know, it's something they can relate to. Because see, I make a lot of music that females and males can relate to. I probably have a bigger male fan base at the current moment. So what I be wanting is people to be able to understand or relate more so.
Okay. That makes sense.
Or feel good when they listen. Motivated, happy.
I like that. I think sometimes we make the music that we wish we could listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like you wish other people made it to a certain extent?
That, yeah. Or like a lot of my past music was based off of past situations and scenarios. So that's why it's good to like get out. I like to travel and stuff. So you can change up your environment and have something better to talk about.
Yeah. That's what that was one thing I learned about writer's block. If you get in writer's block, a lot of times you just need to go experience life.
Yeah, take a trip, have a good night out, and you'll have some things to talk about.
So I'm going to go a little bit deeper. You've mentioned mental health, industry pressure, and creative blocks as real challenges. Which of those has been the toughest for you to navigate? And it could be something that's current, or it could be just overall. Which one of those has been like the toughest thing for you to navigate through?
That's tough to pick. I'm gonna say I really dislike when I have writer's block because
what it make you feel like?
Like I'm not working hard enough. Like I haven't been practicing enough, and I notice like being consistent. Like if I say okay, I'm gonna write a song every week or something, the bars will just start coming. Right. You know, I might be wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing, wash the clothes or whatever, they'll just start coming. So I'll go ahead, you know, jot it down. But if it's not consistent, it's a writer's block, and I really can't stand that. Yeah. And then I'm also like a popular loner. So I don't really hang around people too much. You know, when I come around people, I'm trying to do business and I'm trying to get out the way.
Right.
So not being able to sometimes have someone to confide in, for advice or an opinion, you know. Now, don't get me wrong. I got some people, on my team, but it's just, sometimes that can be a little bit difficult.
I'm telling you, I think it was Tay Briscoe. He was talking about he was going to rebrand something, and he didn't know where to start. And I said, Chat GPT. Like I got an app on my phone, and I literally talk to Chat GPT as if it was like you. And I'm like, look, I don't know what to post. I know I need to post. I'm an artist. I own a studio. Give me some ideas or something. And it has to give you some ideas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I bounce off that a lot.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't want to confide in certain people. You know, you don't want people to know what you're doing. Like I'm big on not telling people what I'm about to do. I love just putting stuff out there. Like if they're sleeping on it, let them sleep. When they see it, they see it. But sometimes you don't want to confide in certain people because their energy might mess it up, or you just don't want to hear a negative response.
That's what I was about to say. I'm big on that. I'm big on some stuff, and it's not even a fear type of ordeal where it's like, oh, you about to mess it up. But it's like, I don't care. I honestly don't care to hear what you have to say. And I have done stuff where it's like I've showed off my art or I've done something and it's like, let's just say they didn't give you the response that you thought you
you know when it's love, you know when it's a little hate or something. It's like, all right, I'm going to just keep that away from you.
And you kind of like keep that to yourself after that. So let's see. Confidence and self-doubt often run side by side for artists. How do you personally fight off the doubt and keep your confidence in check?
Like relating back to what you said, going back, looking at old stuff, looking at commentary of things, the inboxes and stuff that I get, like people saying, like in the past week, I've had like 2 people tell me they like my voice. So it'll have me like, all right, well, I need to be putting my voice out there more, you know? So just looking at the past things that were accomplished, looking at compliments that was received, things of that sort, and just remembering who I am.
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the day, nobody else can be who I am. So why not put yourself out there and show the world what you was given, like your gifts and stuff?
I couldn't have said it better. So what's your take on staying independent versus signing with a label? Like, have your views on that changed over time?
No. If I was back in like the 80s and the 90s, I probably would have signed in because they was treating their artists better. But now it would, and not even saying I wouldn't sign anybody, but it's more difficult.
Yeah.
The deals that they are giving artists these days, some of them are not worth it. And I feel like you're better off getting it yourself, you know, like, but it's all a business because if you starting out broke or with nothing and they discover your talent and they fund you for this and for that, you got no choice but to pay it back. You know what I'm saying? So I understand.
You gotta pay it back how they tell you gotta pay it back.
Yeah.
You have to recoup it how they say it. So it's not just go hustle in the streets and bring no.
Yeah, like you just got interest. No.
You have to sell this many songs, and out of this many songs, we automatically take this amount out. This comes to us, period. Then the portion that goes to you, that's what we're gonna use for you to pay us back. And it's gonna be like 3% or something.
Horrible.
You know what I'm saying? It's something crazy.
The numbers be horrible, so. But then at the same time, it seems like a lot of independent artists have blockages. Like you can't go mainstream unless you're under a major label. So
I think because I'm big on that. So I think that I could be wrong. That's why I said I think. So this is the thing. I feel as though just like, and I'm about to go left field, just like fast food and everything, right? So I was vegan for 2 years. And that was one of the hardest things for me to do, but it wasn't because of, the food was nasty and everything like that. It was just simply from the judgment of people. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I go somewhere, I joke back anyway. Like I'm one of them people, but it's like, it's a constant, ongoing thing. And so the overall consensus of everything is like, okay, bro, you don't eat McDonald's, you don't eat steak, you don't do like they are saying the popular things for people to eat, which does not mean that it's right. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I feel to a certain extent. Like even just now in certain states, McDonald's has to put what they have in their burger. This contains this, may give you cancer. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I feel like the music industry is. It's like they're not going to, first of all, who's going to, it's a business. So why would they showcase independent artists as winning? You feel what I'm saying? Like they're not going to put it out there. And so it's going to look like these artists have blockages. It's going to look like all these different things. But essentially, what I feel like a lot of artists don't understand is we've been manipulated to want the allure of saying, I signed a deal.
Yeah.
If you imagine if you posted that, like they're gonna be like, yo, I knew
everybody
you would make it.
Love it. Yeah.
But when you're in the business and you understand what signing a deal is, that's no different than if you went into the bank and you got a loan. But the only difference is you get to choose whatever stipulations based off of, what kind of loan you signing with the bank. But with the music deal, it doesn't work that way. You feel what I'm saying? And so they have put this thing all the way up there like, oh, it's like this big. And I feel like even to this day, like this, but it's still the allure of it because of what other people's perspective is. When you say you're independent, it doesn't give you that same wow factor as if you're saying like I got signed. If you get signed, it's like, oh shoot, well she know what she's doing. You feel what I'm saying? Things, and I feel as though they do that on purpose, so it can kind of like discourage people from doing it that way. But I do feel like being signed does give you access to like different handshakes. So these different people know. And then if you're not signed, this is the only way they can hold their value is they're not gonna mess with you. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that it can't get done. It just means that you
it's
can't
gonna be a little harder.
Yeah, that's it.
You're gonna have to put more money into it.
That's it. But I mean, it's really hard to even make money. I feel like they're going to start doing a whole lot of stuff with like the AI stuff. They're already doing.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so that's
you barely can post or share anything without like the ad revenue thing and stuff like that. But I mean, I'm not saying I would never sign. It would just be difficult for me because I've always been not in a negative way, but I've always been tight rebellious and try to look at things and see like, well, how am I going to benefit? How are me and my people going to benefit from that? And if the things that they are throwing at me isn't what I want, like I don't care about having no 2025 car. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about having that expensive mansion. I might want to invest in land and other things. And if I can't have that, then I'm not going to do it.
Nah, that's a extremely intelligent way to look at it. The future and the legacy. So you got so much in the pipeline, new music, visuals, films. What's the big picture vision for where you want all of this to lead?
Oh my goodness. Wow. It's like you start out with a plan or a goal and then you dream again. So I really can't tell you because it started out with, I just like taking pictures. I love taking pictures. It started out with modeling. Next thing you know, I like making music. I love expressing myself. And then it started, now it's the acting. So whatever my angels and God is throwing for me to do, then that's just going to be what I'm going to be doing. Because I love what I'm doing, so. I
think that's the important part, having fun with it. Well, that's it. Prima Donna, thank you for being open and real with us today. From surviving tough beginnings to thriving in so many different creative spaces, your story is proof that artistry isn't just about talent. It's about resilience. To everyone listening, make sure you follow Prima Donna on Instagram at _darkskinfriend and check out her latest work on YouTube at Prima Donna 301. We'll have all the links in the description. This has been Artistic Introvert, where we remind you the art is only half of the story. Peace out.